Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, darling.
Helped us in our most desperate hour, and for that I salute you, sir.
This is Scribe hailing a reconnaissance squad, Gladius, to any unit in transmission range. Authorization ARCS, Verum, 9-5. Our unit has sustained casualties, and we're running low on supplies. We're requesting support or evac from our position at Cambridge Police Station. Automated message repeating.
Let's get this show on the road.
If you're looking to trade, then let's make a deal!
In due time. If you want to remain in our compound, I suggest you answer my question first.
And I heard a call, so I decided to come on down to help out.
The way you charged in and engaged those ferals, I find that a bit difficult to believe. Are you from a local settlement?
What's up with all these damn questions?
This would be much easier for both of us if you'd cooperate. Now, where are you from?
I don't have no home, just wandering.
An answer that I hear often. Whether it holds truth or not remains to be seen. If I appear suspicious, it's because our mission here has been difficult. Since the moment we arrived in the Commonwealth, we've been constantly under fire. If you want to continue pitching in, we could use an extra gun on our side.
Sure, as long as I get paid, I'll help you.
So you're a mercenary. Typical. Fine. You help us, and I'll see you're compensated for your services. I'm Paladin Dance, Brotherhood of Steel. Over there is Scribe Halen and Knight Reese. We're on recon duty, but I'm down a man and our supplies are running low. I've been trying to send a distress call to my superiors, but the signal's too weak to reach them.
Sir, if I may.
Proceed, Halen.
I've modified the radio tower on the roof of the police station, but I'm afraid it just isn't enough. What we need is something that will boost the signal.
Our target is we infiltrate the facility, secure the transmitter, and bring it back here. So what do you say? You willing to lend the Brotherhood of Steel a hand?
It's weird that you might trust me right now. You don't know if I'm a fucking idiot.
I can assure you that I wouldn't undertake this mission unless I had confidence in your abilities. Halen, take Reese inside and bind his wounds.
Yes, sir.
Reese, once you're on your feet, I want you to make certain the perimeter is secure.
I'm on it.
All right, civilian. It's time to prove your worth. Head into the police station and resupply yourself. Then let me know when you're ready to begin. Let's move out, people.
All right, big guy. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm coming. You gonna patch me up or what?
I don't know. Your prognosis looks pretty grim. Might be more humane to just take you out back and shoot you.
You're all heart, Doc.
Just quit squirming so I can get these bandages on.
What the hell's going on? If reinforcements are coming, they sure are taking their sweet time.
Hey, if Paladin Dan says they're coming, then they're coming. We just need to hold out a while longer.
I don't know, Halen. We've lost half our squad already. Even with this new guy helping, we can stay alive long enough for them to get here.
We'll make it, big guy. We'll make it.
Hello, team. Captain Whitmark here. Welcome to the task force. Operation Winter's End starts now, with you. Together, we will knock Eddie Winter off his throne and dump his sorry ass in a 2,000-volt easy chair. It should come as a surprise to no one that our operations in Boston have been, in a word, compromised. Winter has eyes everywhere, even the BPD. So, our brothers across the river in Cambridge have been kind enough to let us use the Cambridge Police Department as our base of operations. Let's get to work. Good hunting.
Cambridge Police Evidence Terminal unauthorized users report directly to lockup. Case 96SE Holbrook Sedition Logs. Evidence Log Entry Arho 0. Object One-Time Statement of Mr. N. Fredericks. Precedent Cambridge S&L status transferred to Federal Officer J. Dobson. Evidence Log Entry Arho 1 Object One-Time Pamphlet. Your right to work recovered from suspect's desk. Cambridge S&L status transferred to Federal Officer J. Dobson. Evidence Log Entry Arho 2 Object One-Time Pamphlet unionized today, recovered from suspect's desk. Cambridge S&L status transferred to Federal Officer J. Dobson. Public Intoxication Logs. Evidence Log Entry and Add 0. Object One-Time Set of Clothes, abandoned at scene status in Cambridge Police Evidence Lockup as 3B11. Evidence Log Entry and Add 1 Object 2 times Bottle, Platinum Inebriator Beverage status transferred to Trash. Cambridge Police Evidence Terminal unauthorized users report directly to lockup. Case 155 H Winter Holotape Logs. Evidence Log Entry EDWI 0 Object Holotape 0. Status returned to Agent Mitchell, Boston Bad TFL, October 6, 2077. Evidence Log Entry EDWI-2. Object Holotape 2. Status mailed to SGT Sulzbach, Malden PD. Cambridge Police Evidence Terminal unauthorized users report directly to lockup. Case 772 R.E. Nielsen Reckless Endangerment Logs. Evidence Log Entry CHNE 0. Object 2 Spool 200 Copper Cable. Status in Cambridge Police Evidence S1A28. Evidence Log Entry CHNE 1. Object 3 times Fission Powell Home Nuclear Reactors. Status transferred to Hazardous Materials Disposal Unit. Evidence Log Entry CHNE-2. Object One-Time Bag containing remains of TJM Home Stereo System. Status in Cambridge Police Evidence S1-2.
Field Scribe Halen, personal log entry 324A. I'm starting to wonder if joining the Brotherhood of Steel was a good choice. I originally signed up seeking protection and comradeship, but I'm worried that I've traded away a bit of my humanity in the process. The Brotherhood's message of hope for the future is idealistic and noble, but their methods leave a lot to be desired. The leadership seems especially misguided. Instead of diplomacy, they wield violent confrontation to exert control. Despite all that, I've been successfully avoiding the fighting by following the career path of a field scribe. I suppose only time will tell how long I can stand the sight of spilled blood over my own moral fiber.
Sorry about the other guys.
It's hard for me to take your apology seriously working with those assholes with attitude problems.
Okay, I deserve that. But understand that their attitude comes from being jammed through the ringer for the last few months. Look, it may not seem like it, but Dance is a good man. He's just all soldier. Protocol is his bread and butter. And Reese? Well, let's just say he's as hard-headed as a Mr. Gutsy. But you know what? I trust both of them with my life. Because they're good people, and that's hard to come by nowadays.
Think you're some kind of
I was
hotshot?
doing this shit since you was in your daddy's ball sack. You can learn something.
Listen, smartass, I don't take advice from anyone except Top. You're hired help, and that's all there is to it.
Too bad. I would have liked to show you what fuck around and find out means.
Got some backbone. Good. You'll need it if you keep hanging with us. Now why don't you run off and see if Top needs you to do anything else?
Brotherhood of Steel Gladius Personnel Terminal. Recon Squad Gladius's current orders are as follow. Proceed to the area designated as the Commonwealth to perform a standard long-range recon operation, DELRRO. Report any unusual activity using standard long-range communications to Scabbard. Extraction time undetermined. Paladin Dance, DN-407P. Brotherhood of Steel Gladius Personnel Terminal. 12,207 to 1 after several months, my squad has just crossed the border and entered the Commonwealth. We're chosen to immediately search the Boston region with the intention of finding a secure building to use as our recon headquarters. Soon after, my squad was ambushed by raiders. Night Keen's power armor was destroyed and we lost some of our supplies. Fortunately, we were able to repel the attack and continue our mission. Brotherhood of Steel Gladius Personnel Terminal. Log 22,287 to 2. We've discovered a secure building in Cambridge that appears to be a former police station. We were able to clear the building and recover a good deal of supplies and ammunition from pre-war caches inside. According to Scribe Halen, this location is structurally sound and highly defensible. I've decided to establish our headquarters here for the time being. Brotherhood of Steel Gladius Personnel Terminal. 42,287 to 3. After Halen identified the Corviga factory in Lexington as a possible site containing visible pre-war technology, we initiated a sweep and retrieve operation. I had Dawes do a site survey, and he discovered it was being held by a large force of raiders. I gave the go-ahead, and we attempted a breach. As we approached, our squad was hit with gunfire. Knight Warwick was wounded, so I decided to fall back to Cambridge. During our retreat, Knight Brax stepped on a landmine. Scribe Halen attempted to treat him, but Brax succumbed to his wounds and died. Let it be noted for the record that Halen is to be commended for her efforts. Brotherhood of Steel Gladius Personnel Terminal. 42,287 to 4. It's been 2 days since our failed operation at Corvega, and I'm sad to report that Knight Warwick has died. His gunshot wounds had left him paralyzed and internally bleeding. Scribe Halen informed me that he was suffering and had less than 5% chance of recovery. I authorized her to inject him to rest. I'd once again like to commend Scribe Halen for her efforts in keeping Warwick alive, and for following my final orders without question. Brotherhood of Steel Gladius Personnel Terminal. 72,287 to 5. We sustained another casualty today at grid reference a 113. This area contains the ruins of Boston International Airport and Fort Strong. The airport was almost completely abandoned, but Fort Strong turned out to be infested by super mutants. We were hoping to resupply at the armory there, but Knight Sergeant Dawes was killed. This is the second location I've had to order retreat from since we arrived, and a third member of my team to die. I recommend a complete bombardment of this location in the future. Brotherhood of Steel Gladius Personnel Terminal. 102,287 to 6. Scribe Halen has been picking up unusual energy readings on her instruments. She claims that they are on an extreme high-band spectrum frequency, which makes it highly unlikely to be pre-war in origin. The readings are also highly sporadic, only appearing for very short amounts of time and in very specific locations. The decay on these signals is severe, and they seem to disappear off Halen's instruments after several hours. We don't have the equipment necessary to track these readings, so we're attempting to use triangulation to discover their point of origin. Brotherhood of Steel Gladius Personnel Terminal. 102,287 to 7. We've been attempting to contact Scabbard with the energy reading Halen has collected, but the police station's high-gain antenna was damaged by a super mutant rocket attack, and we can't transmit the data. Halen is attempting to repair the antenna, but she isn't certain that we have the parts we need at this time.
You better get a move on. It's not a good idea to keep Paladin Dance waiting.
You ready to move out?
Yeah, let's get this show on the road.
Rex. It appears as though the facility's automated security's already been dealt with.
Oh man, it looks like we missed the party.
You're making a foolishly hasty assessment. Look at the evidence. There isn't a single spent ammunition casing or drop of blood in sight. These robots were assaulted by Institute synths.
I mean, I heard a little bit about synths. Can you tell me what they are?
They're an abuse of technology created by the Institute. Abominations meant to improve upon humanity. It's unacceptable. They simply can't be allowed to exist.
What about the Institute? I don't know much about that either.
They're a group of scientists who went underground when the Great War started. Spent the last few decades littering the Commonwealth with their technological nightmares.
Sounds to me like you might be scared of these here synths.
There's a measurable difference between being frightened and being prepared. Now, let's move out. This place is a mess, but I still see a few pieces of salvage that the Monument might be in. After we're done here, I'll have to mark this place for search. Looks like a dead end. See if you can find a way to get that door open. I'm gonna reconnoiter the area.
Roger that.
Why the heck are they making us record this? Oh crap, it's on, isn't it? This is Technician Rand, ArcJet Propulsion Division. I'm here with Technician Janowski, work log A1190. Janowski and I have been working on the Mars Shot project for about 3 months now, and I think we have the thrust calculations worked out.
Man, I wish I was headed up there with those guys. It'd be nice to get the hell away from our lousy planet.
Hey, easy. If we don't record these logs properly, we're gonna get fired. The supervisor is already itching to get rid of us, especially since it's taking us longer than we promised.
So what? We've been drafted anyway. We're shipping out in a few weeks, remember? Soon we'll be doing push-ups, eating freeze-dried rations, and just wishing we were spending our day inside a cushy private laboratory.
Of course I remember. But I'm trying not to imagine getting my head blown off when I'm on the front line, and keeping my mind on work is helping me deal with the problem. Maybe that doesn't make sense to you, but it's important to me, okay?
All right. I'm sorry. Look, why don't you toss this tape and we'll start a new one.
private terminal. After 6 months, the United States Space Administration finally approved ArcJet as the contractor for the Mars Shot project's propulsion and communication systems. Having my team start working on the XMB booster before we secured the contract was a gamble, but it looks like it's going to pay off big. We have a lot of details to hash out with the agency, and we have a lot of work ahead of us, but I think this contract will finally put ArcJet on the map. ArcJet Systems ArcNet Thomas Reinhardt's private terminal. I was fortunate to be able to add Dr. Rory M.C. Clellan to the XMB booster team today. There are few people who can match Dr. M.C. Clellan's aptitude with nuclear propulsion system, so this truly was a coup. It cost the company a heck of a lot of money to hire him away from his military contracting job, but I'm sure it will be well worth every dollar. We're promised the USSA that the booster would be ready at least a year before their July 2078 launch date. With Dr. M.C. Clellan at the helm, we should be able to meet that deadline with time to space. ArcJet Systems ArcNet Thomas Reinhardt's private terminal. As the holiday season approaches, it's time to take a step back and look at everything that's happened to ArcJet Systems this year. 5 months ago, my company was struggling to make ends meet. Now, with the XMB booster and the deep-range transmitter projects in full swing, ArcJet appears to have received a second chance. Thanks to Dr. McClellan, we're on schedule and under budget. The USSA is thrilled with our progress and is already talking to me about future contracts after we deliver. I don't think it's possible to be ending the year on a better note. ArcJet Systems ArcNet Thomas Reinhardt's private terminal. Dr. McClellan's informed me that we have a problem with the XMB booster. The USSA is demanding that the engine can't exceed their strict weight allowance, but thanks to the uranium refinement subsystem, we're a few hundred tons over. We're now 1 month behind schedule, and I'm frankly starting to panic. Dr. McClellan assures me he'll find a solution soon, but that isn't helping me get to sleep at night. ArcJet Systems ArcNet Thomas Reinhardt's private terminal. The USSA has started their public relations campaign for the Mars Shot project, and ArcJet Systems is finding itself cat right in the middle. In the last week, I think I've fielded 15 separate interviews with everyone asking the same questions over and over again. They all want to know when we're delivering the XMB boosters so they can take their pretty pictures of the USSA test, firing it for the first time. And all I can do is keep smiling and lying through my teeth that the XMB will be delivered when it's ready. I hope Dr. McClellan, our weight problem soon, or we're never going to get a contract from the USSA ever again. ArcJet Systems ArcNet Thomas Reinhardt's private terminal. I can't believe it, but Dr. McClellan's team finally solved the XMB's weight problem. Now all we need to do is finish tightening a few screws and hoist the thing up into the engine core. If we're lucky, we'll be able to test fire the booster right after the new year. It's funny how things seem bleak and chaotic during the year, but it all comes together for us just in time for holidays. ArcJet Systems ArcNet Thomas Reinhardt's private terminal. We've scheduled a photo opportunity tomorrow for the XMB booster's first firing in the engine core. We're going to stick them all down in the control room and let them shoot their pictures through the thermoglass windows after Dr. McClellan gives them a short explanation of how the booster works. The engine puts out a hell of a lot of thrust, so it should be quite a spectacular show. ArcJet Systems ArcNet Thomas Reinhardt's private terminal. It's been 2 weeks since the accident before the XMB booster's test firing event. Somehow, a photographer managed to wander past security and into the engine core a few hours early. Dr. McClellan was running a quick test on the booster, letting it run only for a few seconds to make sure it was ready for the demonstration, and burned the photographer into ash. Thank God no one else saw what happened. I'm having Brent take care of the remains. After all, that's why I hired him. If word of this accident goes public, we'll be shut down, and I may as well put a for sale sign out front. ArcJet Systems ArcNet Thomas Reinhardt's private terminal. All of the unrest overseas is making the USSA nervous about proceeding with the Mars Shot project. They're telling me they may have to delay a year or more depending on what happens. If that's true, we'll just have to make do with the proceeds from the deep-range transmitter contact, which we've already completed. I'm trying to keep everyone's spirits up around here, but it's getting harder and harder with the world falling apart around us. Hopefully our government will work things out.
Engine course ahead. Should be our final stop. Watch your footing. Looks like the power's out in this section. Look at this place. Scribes have a field day in here.
Attacking enemy. Taking damage.
ArcJet Systems ArcNet Dr. Rory McClellan's terminal private. I'm thrilled to be working in the private sector again. Working for the military is a horrible, never-ending grind of broken promises, slashed budgets, and ridiculous deadlines that I've learned to hate. Working on the XMB booster finally allows me to broaden my horizons and work on something I've always dreamed of doing, helping send astronauts to Mars. Thomas appears to share my vision, so with his money and my know-how, I'm certain we'll be able to deliver a superior product to the United States Space Administration. ArcJet Systems, ArcNet, Dr. Rory McClellan's terminal private. I've had to deliver some bad news to Thomas today. I told him that the booster is too heavy to fit within the USSA's guideline, and will need more time than expected to work out the problem. I've never seen him so angry. His reaction reminded me of some of the Army generals I've worked with in the past. He yelled for a while, but when he realized there isn't much that could be done about it, he calmed down and we worked it out. I think the weight issue might add anywhere from 3 to 6 months to the schedule, but we might get lucky and figure it out sooner. If we're any later than I'm predicting, I have a feeling I should start looking for a position somewhere else. ArcJet Systems, ArcNet, Dr. Rory McClellan's terminal private. Thanks to some suggestions from my research team and some sleepless nights, I've been able to reduce the XMB booster's final shipping weight to literally 17 pounds under the limit imposed by the USSA guidelines. Thomas was absolutely over the moon when I cherish and why I dedicated my entire life to scientific research. ArcJet Systems, ArcNet, Dr. Rory McClellan's terminal private. We were supposed to have a press event today, but Thomas has canceled it only hours before it was about to begin. I'm confident that the XMB booster was ready to test fire, so I was uncertain what caused his sudden change of heart. After speaking to Sam Brandt, our head of security, he informed me that there was a possible security breach, and he had recommended the entire event be postponed until a later date. I must say that this entire day has been very strange, and something tells me what Brent is telling me isn't entirely true. ArcJet Systems, ArcNet, Dr. Rory McClellan's terminal private. I can't believe what I discovered today. I was going through our video recordings of all past test firings for the XMB, and I came across the carbon burn-off pretest I did back in February. On one of the angles, I swear I saw someone running across the bottom of the engine core right before the booster ignited. I took the tape straight up to Thomas and threw it on his desk. He took one look at the tape and then told me what happened to that poor man being burned alive. Then he told me how he had Brent cover the accident up. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I told him I was going to head straight to the police, but he threatened my life and my family's life. Now I don't know what to do. I think I have no choice but to bring the tape directly to the press tomorrow and hope the authorities can stop Thomas before he does anything stupid.
There has to be a power backup system somewhere. Scout the maintenance area off of the main chamber. I'll remain here to watch our backs.
Roger that.
Jeering, leering, laughing, mocking, taunting. Oh, he graduated all right from high school. It's fine, I'm sure he took shop class. Oh, look, he's reading the science mags. How cute.
Har, har, har. Shop class. Let's see them make this in shop class. My marvel of engineering. Finest in weaponized refuse acceleration. My beauty. My junk jet.
Engine core power restored. Going up.
Hold on. I think we're being stalled. Intruder alert! Well, that could have gone smoother, but mission accomplished.
Huh?
That sweep was sloppy. We were caught unprepared more than once, which is unacceptable. However, your Your extra gun gave us the edge we needed. I'm not certain I could have accomplished the mission alone.
Alright, let's talk chaos.
Not necessarily. That being said, I believe we have two important matters to discuss. First and foremost, if you'll hand me the deep-range transmitter, I'd like to compensate you for your assistance during this operation. I think you'll find this weapon useful. It's my own personal modification of the standard Brotherhood laser rifle. May it serve you well in battle.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome, civilian. Now, as far as the second matter goes, I wanted to make you a proposal. We had a lot thrown at us back there. Our op could have ended in disaster, but you kept your cool and handled it like a soldier. There's no doubt in my mind that you've got what it takes. The way I see it, you've got a choice. You could spend the rest of your life wandering from place to place, trading an extra hand for a meager reward. Or you could join the Brotherhood of Steel and make your mark on the world. So, what do you say?
Yeah, no. I'm not willing to go down in any groups.
That's a shame. Well, if you change your mind, you know where to find us. Good luck to you.
Paladin Dance. Glad to see you alive and well, sir.
Are we in luck, sir?
Mission accomplished. We have the transmitter.
Finally, some good news for a change. Nice work, sir.
I didn't do it alone. Had some help from our new friend. I've offered him a place on our team, but I'm not sure he's willing to accept. In the meantime, he's welcome to take shelter here, as long as he doesn't get in our way. There's
What's the
still a
matter?
place for you in the
Don't have the
Brotherhood.
guts to join up?
If you want it.
It's never gonna happen. You might as well start asking.
Oh, sorry to hear that. But I respect your decision. If you ever change your mind, you know where to find us.
If joining the Brotherhood is too much for you, maybe you can find work on one of the local farms.
Ha, ha.
I'm not gonna make this easy for you.
Asshole.